So please, could you make the Toastmaster Grace Amoka a co-host so she can share her screen? Saida, you're up. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, dear Muhammad, for the floor given. Good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Welcome to the 13th session of the District 100 Afterworks. Tonight is a very special afterwork. Yes, special indeed. We are thrilled to host a training session on tips you need to win a Toastmaster contest. To guide us through this exciting topic, we have an outstanding trainer. However, I'm not the one who gets the privilege of introducing our trainer. That honor belongs to our moderator. So, today, the big question is, who is our moderator tonight? Toastmasters since 2024. She's achieving the visionary path. An otaku, a polyglot, a lover girl, whimsical, bubbly soul through and through. She likes everything, especially if it involves money and food. I think that we can become friends. Her favorite quote is from, I don't know, an unknown author, which said that I did it all cause it's still good. I wouldn't do it at all if it feel bad. Please, under your loud applause, let's welcome our Toastmasters, Fatime Hamza. Fatime Hamza, are you there? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
I think that's
I think
Fatima.
she...
Maybe we'll...
She's having a bit of a network challenge, but she's joining.
Okay. Will you take over the moderator role?
Okay, I was thinking we can give her just a minute to join.
Okay.
Okay, Toastmaster Fatima, are you here?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Welcome,
Toastmaster
dear
Saida,
Fatima.
you can take the introduction
Thank you so
again,
much.
so she takes over.
Thank you so much.
Okay, should I take it again?
Yes, please. Take the introduction
Okay.
again.
Okay, no problem, dear Muhammad. Good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Welcome to this 13th session of the District 130 Afterwards. Today is a very special afterwork. Yes, special indeed. We are thrilled to host a training session on the tips you need to win a Toastmaster contest. To guide us through this exciting topic, we have an outstanding trainer. However, I'm not the one who gets the privilege of introducing our trainer. The honor belongs to our moderator. So, Toastmasters, the big question is, who is our moderator? Toastmasters since 2024. She's achieving the visionary communication path. An otaku, a polyglot, a lover girl, a whimsical, bubbly, soulful, and true. She likes everything, especially if it involves money and food. And I was saying that we could become friends, Fatima. Her favorite course is I did it all cause it feel good. I wouldn't do it at all if it feel bad. So, dear fellow Toastmasters, put your hands together to welcome the Toastmasters Fatime Amza.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And I know we have all had a very long day because today is a Monday. So hello again. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good day at work, school, or wherever it is. Today, I have been honored to moderate this session. Honestly, I can't even believe it, and I didn't even expect it. I knew I was going to moderate this session just a few hours ago, not few hours ago, but sort of. And then I've been panicking, thinking, what am I expected to do? What am I expected to say? How am I expected to handle this or do this? Because I just have anxiety and I'm always panicking. What do I do? I don't want to go and mess up. But after I joined, I've calmed down a bit. So now I don't feel too anxious anymore. Anyway, so good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope you're doing well, and I'm your moderator for today's Afterwork session. And today we are going to talk about how to deliver a powerful speech in 7 minutes. So, which means we're going to talk about the tips and tricks of how to write your speech, memorize it, rehearse it, practice, and deliver a powerful speech in 7 minutes. I wouldn't be the one that's going to talk about this. There is a trainer, a special trainer that's going to talk about this. And I'm going to read her bio now. So this trainer of ours is, sorry, please, just a second. Okay. So this trainer of ours is none other than, excuse me. Okay. So sorry for the delay. So this trainer of ours is, by the way, her name is Grace Amoka, Toastmaster Grace Amoka. So Grace Amoka is an educator and leadership strategist whose mark sits at the intersection of education, leadership, development, and human potential. She has consulted for notable organizations such as the World Bank, contributing people-centered strategy and innovative thinking to education and development initiatives. She is known for helping accomplished professionals clarify and elevate their personal brands, translating expertise into clear, compelling compositioning. With a unique eye for effective design communication, she helps people align with what they know, what they do, and how they are perceived to their work. How they are perceived so their work speaks before they do. She is an author of 4 books and counting, and lives by the mantra, letting her light shine, thereby giving others the opportunity to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our trainer with a sounding round of applause.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fatime, and good evening, everyone. Please, if you are excited to be here, please put something in the chat. And yeah, it's an honor to be training for the first Afterwork session in the year. So I'd like to say Happy New Year to everyone. And please put in the chat Happy New Year in your dialect. So in your local language, put Happy New Year in the chat. I'd like to see as many as I can read. Ensure that you do not laugh at me. I'm going to try my best. So say thank you very much. Say Happy New Year in the chat to someone, but using your local dialect. Let's try that. Barka da sabuwa shekara. I'm yeah. Ek- ak- hmm. Aku odun tuntun you. Okay. Barka da sabuwa shekara. I think I tried. Okay, so we have Hausa, we have Yoruba, we have Hausa again. Hausa people are many here. Oh. Welcome. Sanu Dezua. It's good to have you. Wuso Ken Shero Sa Barino. Okay. I think I need to be stopped now. Fatih, I don't know. Murno Soron Lara. Okay, we all get the point. It's Happy New Year to everybody. It's good. It's good to be here. Maybe when it's time for questions and answers, we can tell us Happy New Year in your dialect, and then you go on to ask your question. I'm going to try to do this in 25 minutes. The person that did the first introduction of what the session is going to be about, she said, I'm going to tell you how to win contests. I don't know how they used to do it because it's a combination of factors for you to actually win a contest. But I'm going to do my best to help us understand better. I mean, we've been writing speeches for a very long time, yeah, but there's one or two things you'll be able to learn from this session. And why is this important? Because being able to deliver a powerful speech in 7 minutes can be the difference between the person that lands a huge deal and the person that doesn't. It can be the difference between the guy that lands a proposal and the one that they just embarrassing on social media. Okay. So I'll be sharing my screen right away. And please take down notes, put down any questions that you have, and we'll have a fantastic time together. I'm very excited that I have some of my mentors who mentored me through um, co-host, please help me mute people that are unmuted. Please. Thank you. So that we don't have so many distractions. And we also have world champions here as well. So please, at some point, I'll be calling you to share your own experiences. All right, if we're ready, please put ready in the chat and we will take it away. Let me see 3 readies and then I will continue. Ready, ready, ready. Are we ready? Fantastic. Grace Mekano is ready. Toastmaster Zainab is ready. Toastmaster Abdul Razak is ready. Fantastic. All right. So how to deliver a 7-minute speech. And for you to deliver a 7-minute speech, it starts with preparation. Yeah, like you have to plan a 7-minute speech. Because as we will see further down the line, sometimes we try to tell people our lives history in just 7 minutes and it never works out. So you find yourself rushing. And when I say you find yourself, I'm talking to myself because one of the feedbacks I've gotten from Toastmasters since I joined is that I talk quite fast. Yeah. So if you don't plan and prepare well enough, you'll find yourself rushing the ends of your speech. You're trying to tell us 3 major ideas at the same time. So we're going to see how can I make sure that 7 minutes become the most impactful 7 minutes of my audience. Okay. So I want to share one big idea with us as we move forward with this. And that idea is a powerful 7-minute speech is not about saying more. I mean, 7 minutes before you join Toastmasters sounds like a lot. But by the time you deliver your first 5 speeches, you're just like, oh my goodness, I want to say so many things, but there's a little time. Yeah. So it's not about saying more, it's about choosing what really matters. Yeah, and if there's one thing I want us to go away with, it's that you have opportunities to deliver quite a number of speeches through your lifetime. So don't think it's that one time that you want to tell us all the important things that you want to let us know. Yeah. So it's about choosing what really matters. It's about deciding what you want your audience to live with. And I'll share 3 different frameworks that could be helpful to us. The first one, I mean, yeah. So what we're trying to achieve is to make sure that in 7 minutes, we're able to deliver one significant message and have maximum impact. How to make 7 minutes feel like it was exactly enough. You know how they say it's best to leave the stage when the ovation is loudest. So people are like, oh my goodness gracious, I've never heard someone speak so well, and then you just leave them wanting more. That's what we want to be able to achieve at the end of this session. So the first framework that I'm going to share is the 7-1-1 rule. And see, there are lots of fantastic speakers around the world, and you will see a lot of frameworks that actually work. But from what I'm going to share today, what we're going to discuss, I want you to choose what you consider meaningful for you, and then you can adopt it going forward. The second one is the TIME method. And just to make it easy, that's time as an acronym. So we're going to look at the time method. And finally, we're going to do a one-page test. And a lot of us are going to fail on this one, but let's just move ahead. So what's the 7-1-1 rule? As I said earlier, most speeches fail because we try to do like 3 different speeches in one. We want to tell people why it is important to change the world. At the same time, we want to let them know why education is the most important weapon, or the most potent weapon to change a country. You can't afford to do that. If not, your 7 minutes will not land the way that it's supposed to land. So the 7-1-1 rule is 7 minutes, 1 core message, and 1 clear outcome. Let someone put it in the chat. 7 minutes, 1 core message, 1 clear outcome, such that your audience walks away with a very, very clear. If you ask them what was the key message from this, they are able to tell you this was the key message. I don't see anybody putting it in the chat. Okay, so for core message, if I want you to be able to ask yourself, if my audience remembers only one thing, what would it be? So you don't just go ahead and start to write a speech to inspire your audience without answering this question of what do I want my core message to be? So if my audience remembers just one thing, what one thing do I want that to be? Okay, so if you can answer this, it then guides how you think around it. Some of us want to start with titling. No, you don't need a title yet. You can give your speech a title at the end of everything you've done, or at the middle. Sometimes the title will just jump at you. Other times, I mean, it comes at different points, but you want to be able to clearly define what your core message is. And when you think about your core message, don't think about just one word or a phrase. So your core message cannot just be leadership, because I mean, leadership is a lot. It can be, I mean, there are different things you can talk about as core message within leadership. Your core message cannot just be growth. So it can be something like leadership starts the moment you stop waiting for others to solve problems, or something like that. Someone should give me a core message that is tied to leadership in the chat. A core message tied to leadership. The clearer your core message is, the better you're able to have a powerful 7-minute speech. A core message. I want contributions, please. We're doing this together. A core message on leadership, or any core. Leadership is not standing in the front, but standing with, Mr. Fatimi, this is hot. So leadership is not standing in the front, but standing with others. So if I decide that this is my core, this is going to be my core message, then I start to build around it. I start to ask myself questions. I start to pull from my experience bank to say, have I experienced anything in my life where I was able to stand with others and it buttressed this point that I want to make, or it buttresses my core message? Okay. Now we move to clear outcome. And your clear outcome is what should change in your listeners after 7 minutes. Because you are not just standing in front of people to be pretty. You're not just standing in front of them to be just another random speaker. You want something in them to change. And there are 4 things that I've summarized what this change can look like. Do you want a belief to change in them? Do you want them to change a decision? Okay. Do you want them to change a feeling? So if someone, like in Fatima's example, leading from the front, fantastic. If someone had a core belief that leaders, I mean, as a leader, your job is to push people to do the work, and then you're just drinking pina colada or something. And Ditem Abdul Rahim says, leading from the front. If that's your core message, you now think about, how do I want to change the core beliefs of the people listening to me? Okay. Do you want to change a feeling with Okay, let me just go back to belief. Yeah, so one of my coaches says that beliefs are formed in two ways. The first one is a sudden emotional impact. And we're going to talk a bit about emotions because if you're not able to awaken people's emotions through your speech, is just going to be just, oh, it was a nice speech. Oh, she speaks so nice, it's so well, but people won't remember. Put in the chat some of the most memorable speeches you've ever heard. Put it in the chat. I know there's one that's gonna. If you've been a Toastmaster for 2 years, there's one that everybody loves. We all love it. It has something to do with rose. It has something to do with the rose flower. But just put some of your most memorable speeches in the chat and let's see if there's a thing or two we can learn from them. I see, of course. DTF Hassan loves. I see something in you. Toastmaster Nima says swipe, but I just don't know what it is. There's almost no Toastmaster that doesn't know this speech. That's because we're all invested. Like, we were all invested in that particular speech. That's because he was able to pull and tug on people's emotions. And Toastmaster Fatimi says, love speech by DTM Oriawa. Are you seeing that love is kind of appearing all over the place? So you also want to consider what people will resonate with, what is relatable to people. You don't want to come with a very esoteric, you want to tell us that you're intelligent. No, 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 no. The greatest speeches are very simple. Very simple message, extremely relatable, and people go back feeling like, oh my goodness, this person was able to change a belief that I had, a decision, a feeling, or a next action. So if you want your speech to prompt people to take action, Toastmaster Halima says, just nod is another speech that she thinks was memorable. Okay. So the next thing we're going to look at is the time framework. So now, how do I now move from the place where I've defined my core message, I've defined the clear outcomes, to then putting this out in writing? How do I put this across 7 minutes? If you've written a speech for international speech contest, you know that it's a struggle to determine what goes in, what doesn't go in, how many minutes do I spend for my introduction, how many minutes do I spend for the main body and all of that. So I kind of put numbers to just guide us. I mean, it's not perfect, but just pick whatever works for you. And the first thing you want to do is to trigger people. Like I said, you're not here to just impress us. You are here to wake us up. So for example, I'm in the education sector, and I just like to help people understand how much decadence is in our country, especially when it comes to education. And I'm delivering a speech, and I go, oh, do you know that over 10.5 million children Nigerian children are out of school? And if that doesn't really land with the audience, I now go further to say that is literally the size of an entire country, like Jordan. And someone goes, oh my goodness. So imagine an entire country has an illiterate population. That's what the education crisis looks like. And then I go on about how maybe I did a project in a certain community, and I realized how much not having the quality of education needed doesn't help us to get the kinds of leaders that we need in our countries. Do you get it? So you really want to trigger people. And how can you trigger people? You can ask them a question, like a question, do you know? You can tell a very short, like very, very short, because it's 1 minute, a very short story, or a surprising statement. So in 20, I don't even remember again. I think it was 2020. I was in for the international speech contest, and the title of my speech was Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And I started by saying in 2017, a teenager jumped from the roof of a how many story building and died. So she literally committed suicide because she was struggling with her body image. And then I go on to give the stats on how many teenagers go through that. Then I tell my story about my own experience, how I was body shamed in secondary school, and how that followed me on till adulthood. And the cocoa of if you're Nigerian, you understand what cocoa is, like the core message of that. And I remember trying to refine the core message over and again, especially with some of my coaches here. The core message was, Many times the mirrors were looking at what is faulty. So there's nothing wrong with me. But if I'm looking at a cracked mirror, I see everything. And of course, that's like an analogy for saying you should determine who becomes your life mirror. Don't let anyone project their inadequacies, their limitations, their insecurities on. So that was the core message, but it took us time to refine it because at some point I was talking about hair, and at other points I was talking, you get the point. So you want to trigger, and you see that I've spent so much time on this because if you lose people at this point, you don't lose them all. So when I started this, and it wasn't really planned, I'm like, okay, so Happy New Year, everybody. Put in the chat, Happy New Year in your dialect. And I'm not the funniest person in the world, but just attempting to pronounce some of these things, I'm sure some people laughed. Unless you are going through a lot. If you're Nigerian, you're going through a lot. So maybe you did laugh. But I mean, you want to be able to capture people's attention in the first minutes. Yeah. The next is you then want to share the key insights. So that can be from a personal story to what lesson did you learn the hard way? And from the example that I gave, I learned that I couldn't afford to allow people project on me their insecurities because I would be up today, down tomorrow. If people have the ability to, tune me into what they want, essentially, you want to be able to create a clear contrast of a before or after. And it's not, so when you think about insights, don't just think about giving people information. You want to be able to give them meaning. So going back to what is relatable to others. Okay. So that's for insight. So you can spend about 3 minutes on that. The next is moment. And that's like the climax of the entire story. So this is the emotional peak of the story that you're telling. For the story that I told, the emotional peak was when my mathematics teacher told me, "Oh, look at you carrying your head about like a man." And literally at that point, it felt like, oh my goodness, the ground should just open up and swallow me. That was when everything in my life literally turned around and I started to see everything that was wrong with me as a person. So for my speech, that was the moment. So you want to spend 2 minutes and you want to put a lot of emotions into it. So your audience feels what you felt in those moments. So you don't just rush through your 2 minutes moment. You want to like go there. Where did it cost me something? What moment did this, if it's an idea you're sharing, when did it become real to me? When did it become real to me that if we don't fix our education systems, we're going to keep struggling with insecurities and every other thing that plagues a nation, basically. And then the final thing, of course, you want to exit strong. And in this guy, you want to finish and then just drop mic. Like, I finish work here. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you end before people are ready for you to end. You want to leave when the ovation is loudest. No apologies. Leave in such a way that they will remember you. Yeah. And Beyonce said that I want to leave my footprints in the sand. So think about your exit, your 1 minute exit as that point where you actually leave your footprint. So either you want to summarize everything that you've said so far, you want to circle back to the opening to just buttress the point, or you want to leave a line with people that resonates, with them. So for my mirror speech, I think it was something like, who do you choose to become your mirror? I don't remember, to be honest, yeah, but you get the point. So leave with a bang. So for our general notes, I'm going to see if we were following. So I'm going to take key statements from some of the things that I've shared, and you're going to tell me what part of this it appeared in or I mentioned it in, okay? So the first one is, your job is not to impress, it's to wake people up. What part of our time framework is this? What part of our time framework is this? Let's see it in the chat. Your job is not to impress, is to wake people up. Or your job is not to give them information, is to like get them to, nobody's in this class, so what's going on? What's part of the framework? So remember, okay, let's go back. I mean, you weren't listening. So we said I mean, if you take a look at this, you should be able to answer it. So our time method is trigger, insight, moment, and then exit. That's your 7 minutes framework. So where did I mention that your job is not to impress, it's to wake people up? Try again. Try again. Trigger. Yeah, our village people. That was trigger. I said you want to, this guy, when you land, let people know that you have landed. Yes. So that was in trigger. And what are the different ways we said we can trigger people? We said you can use a very, very short story. You can ask a question. You can give a compelling statistic. It can even be humor. If you are DTM Al Hassan, like knock yourself out, give us some humor, let's laugh. Because what that does is it puts your audience at ease and it puts you at ease as well. Okay. The next question, fantastic. So you can use a question, you can use a story, you can use data, like data that just makes it so glaring that, oh my goodness, this is a big deal. The teaching or realization, where do you share that central idea? That's one major idea. Where do you share it in our time framework? Where do you share the central idea? Insights, fantastic. So when you get to insights, that's where the bulk of the work is. I mean, insight and moment is where you share that central idea, but more of it is in insight. And then the emotional peak, that's the part that lingers in the heart of people. I mean, focus on emotional peak. Where's the emotional peak of this framework? What did we say? It is moments. Yes. Oh, this is my students. Five marks for everybody at the end of your mid-semester examinations. And finally, end before they are ready for you to end. Where is that? What's that? End before they are ready for you to end. I would say drop mic. Fantastic. Exit. Exit, exit, exit. So you exit with a bang, with no apology, so that they're going to invite you back. Because the evidence that you really did well, I mean, even outside Toastmaster setting, is that they invite you. You don't want to deliver a training and that's the end. They not call you again. Maybe you did something wrong, but I mean, we're not here. And finally, the final framework we're going to talk about is the one-page test. And it's very simple. If your speech cannot fit on one page, it just might be too much. So that's one test that you can, just from like a quick glance, you can tell whether your speech is making the cut for 7 minutes or not, because you do not want to rush the speech. And I'm going to share a few delivery tips here and there. You do not want to rush your speech. Don't take example from me in this training. I'm rushing because they are already showing me yellow card. I don't know. Nigeria won match. I people are showing me yellow card. Anyways, I forgive you. So in that one page, I see many times we struggle to pour everything in it, especially like the final draft. So for your final draft of the speech, what you want to have on that one page is your opening trigger, 3 to 5 bullet flow points, and then your closing line. You want to be able to practice with this formula so that you resist the temptation of cramming. How many of you remember when you were in school and you cram a formula like that? And your classmates greeted you in the morning of the exam, and you're like, you didn't even say anything. You're just like, nobody should talk to me, because if one thing flies away from that definition that I cram, that's the end of this exam. We're just gonna fail. Yeah. So if your focus is on cramming your speech, you're most likely to trip off. The goal is to consume it and become one with it so much that when they wake you up from sleep, all you need is this outline and you are good to go. Yeah. So what I do is I take key points. Sometimes, I mean, and there are different ways you can do this. You can count the number of paragraphs that you have and what makes each paragraph stand out. So if I understand that, okay, for the opening, I want to share about, so there was another speech I really liked, even though I did not win the contest that year. I did not pass division level, but it was about my experience in birthing a baby in a moving bus. Yeah. And what I did was to relive that experience. So you want to be able to do that, especially when the stories you use are your own stories. Immerse yourself. Is someone saying something? Okay, maybe that was a mistake. You want to be able to immerse. Yes, what you have is enough. Oh my goodness, you remember. Yeah, so the title of that speech, what you have is enough. Toastmaster, please mute your mic. Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay. I think I've overflogged this point. Final notes is, yeah, my time is. Before your next speech, don't ask yourself, is this speech good enough? Or is this line good enough? Is this paragraph good enough? Is this part of the speech good enough? You want to ask, is this necessary? Is this necessary? If it's not necessary, take it away. If it's not necessary, take it away. Okay. So I'll share a few tips with us before we go into question and answer. I still have a few minutes to do this. Let me just stop sharing my screen and then I'll share a few delivery tips. And the first one is you are gonna practice. You will practice. I wanted to say you practice till it's like you want to run mad, but nobody's gonna run mad, okay? But you practice so much that I think Toastmaster Grace Mekano is a living witness. Please put it in the chat. How many times did you practice your speech for the district contest last year? How many times? Put it in the chat. I mean, approximately. How many times? Do you even remember? Or you lost count? 1,000. And see, if you don't, I know it sounds like she's exaggerating it, but if you need to practice. There's no magic about it. And when you practice, what happens is you start to see parts of your speech that are not necessary, that you need to take out. You start to see what doesn't flow naturally. Yeah, because remember, when delivering your speech, it's not just about the words that you're saying, it's about body language. We can tell whether or not you're enjoying yourself while you're speaking. We can tell if the speech is real to you or not. So you want to practice so much that even your hand gestures, I mean, you're just doing it and people are like, oh, she's such a natural. No, she's not. She practiced so much that you thought that she's a natural. And if you meet world champions, they will let you know that they practiced and practiced and practiced. You have to practice till you get irritated at hearing your own voice. If not, you've not started. Yeah. So tips for practicing. First, record yourself. So get your phone, put it up, record yourself, and watch yourself. When you start to watch yourself, you will know that, Grace, I'm not really trying, okay? So record yourself, have people, friends, family, your Toastmasters members in your club and in other clubs, deliver the speech as many times as you can so people can give you feedback. But then be cautious about how you receive feedback because everybody has an opinion. Some people think, oh, you should smile more. Others are like, you're smiling too much. So you don't lose your mind. Yeah. You want to keep that, especially as you advance through different levels in speech contests, for example, you want to keep that circle smaller. So people that you trust their voices, people that you're like, oh, this one has been there, done that, and understands the stage. Okay. Another thing you want to do, and I'm just sharing general tips. Another thing you want to do is to study, and I'm bringing this home to Toastmasters contest. You want to study the judges' ballot so that you will know whether you spend all your resources on getting a new outfit. How much is new outfits going to take in terms of scores? Because there are different things the judges are looking out for. So your content, how you structure your speech. So they're looking at the structure. Does it have a clear opening, the body and conclusion? They're looking at your body language. They're looking at vocal variety and all those things. So you want to study it well so that when you now watch yourself on your recording, you can score yourself and let yourself know that we're not really there yet. Okay. Remember, pacing. The slower, the better. Yeah. I mean, no. Let's rephrase it. Shall pace yourself. I don't. I mean, because you can't come and start saying, one day I was on my way to work. And then I met someone, we're just all gonna sleep. So no, not the slower the better, but you get the point. Like just pace yourself, talk intentionally. Then you see this thing that we do, especially in clubs when we're having club meetings, and you are walking about pacing because they say you should use your stage. You're not working from one end of the stage to another, looking for what did not miss. That's not what the use of stage is. One intentional move, like one intentional movement from one point on you of the stage to another point is better than just pacing. So your movement has to be very intentional. So for Toastmaster Grace, kind of, if I remember, she had different parts of her speech. Like there were different stages, sort of, in her speech. So you want your audience to kind of have an image. Whew. So you're taking them on a journey. Okay, so think about it as you're taking them on a journey. So you start out at the center. So maybe that's where you get sort of a grounding. And then when you move to the second point, make sure it's either you're talking about a new idea or you're sharing something. It has to be intentional. That's the point I'm trying to make. Don't just be walking up and down. And then even when you move your hand, let it be natural, okay? I think that I'll just, I still have a few minutes, but I will pause here for questions so that we have more time. Please, this time that I not finish, add it to the question and answer segment. And please, our leaders that are here that have experiences, feel free to also chime in to share your thoughts and tips on how to deliver powerful 7-minute speeches. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this with you today. Over to you, Toastmaster Fatimi.
Oh, hello again. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh,
Yes, you are.
what a session. Like, truly, what a session. And I would need each and every one of you to drop a word that just sums up the session, because for me, it's just amazing and kind of awakening. Like, it's really, TM Grace said, phenomenal, insightful. Yes, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Gem for gemstones. Okay, we understand. Spiffy, drop cup, fantastic. I love it. Incredibly delivered. Absolutely. I love the energy so much. I say this is awakening because I'm a kind of person that is a lever. I'm a runner. Like, I don't like anything that is going to stress me or that's going to make me think like I'm in a competition with somebody. And I think that's like the worst mindset to carry into Toastmasters. Because when I was first asked to contest, I didn't like it because I had to do all the speech writing, all the palpitations, all the anxiety, all the rehearsing, all the thinking, and I don't like competition at all. So because of that, I dropped the whole idea of contesting ever. I said I'm not going to contest again. Very recently, during the end of year party, people were talking about the upcoming international speech contest, and I said I'm not participating. Nope. All of the Toastmasters in my school, they may, but me, I'm not. And I was firm on my decision. But this today, taught me maybe that's the whole point. Maybe it's, I don't know. I should kind of see it in a positive way. Maybe it's all about the adrenaline. Anyway, we're going to be moving forward to the next thing on our agenda, which is introducing the toast bearer, who will throw a toast to the success of the first Afterwork session of the year. So we have an amazing toast bearer, extremely amazing toastmaster I've ever known, ever seen. And I'm going to introduce her now so she can carry us on to the next session. Okay, so this person is none other than Toastmaster Nimat Bashir. She is an enthusiastic and passionate tutor with over 5 years experience in teaching and a proven track record of providing exceptional mentorship and guidance to students, empowering them to reach for their full potential. She is also passionate about public health and volunteering. She believes everyone has the right to live their healthiest life regardless of their social status. Absolutely. Word. She currently is the vice president membership of Kano Toastmasters Club, and her favorite quote is, "Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change," by Jim Rohn. Her hobbies are spending time with loved ones, watching K-drama and sitcoms. What a perfect bio. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me introduce Toastmaster Nimat Bashir with an outstanding round of applause.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Fatime, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters and my fellow Toastmasters, and a Happy New Year. I'm so honored to be serving as a toast bearer for today's meeting, and a big thank you to Toastmaster Ikrama and Afterwork District 130 for this unique opportunity. You know, they said that learning is like a lifelong journey, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to learn and grow in this beautiful Toastmasters community. As we are gathered here today to bridge knowledge gap, to ignite passion for public speaking, and to master the art of crafting groundbreaking speeches, especially with the contest around the corner, we're not just learning, we are gearing up to take the stage by storm. And you all agree with me that today our trainer, Toastmaster Grace, have done an incredible job explaining how to craft and deliver an amazing speeches. I hope everyone was keeping note because I was. And I pray that we all absorb her wisdom, soak up her expertise, so that we can also craft speeches that inspire, motivate, and transform. Here is to our esteemed leaders and trainers. I say thank you. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your time, and your passion. Your guidance is invaluable, and we are honored to learn from the best. And since it's a new year and the first meeting of the year, here is to us, to new beginning, to new opportunities. May this year bring us joy, prosperity, and adventures. May we continue to inspire and motivate each other to reach new heights. Let's raise our virtual glasses. Please, guys, or with your favorite emoji. So a fantastic year ahead, and cheers. Over to you, Toastmaster Fatini.
Hello again. Sorry. Hello again. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nimat, for such a powerful toast. I have not forgotten about the questions and answer session. Now we're going to moving on to this question and answer session, which is going to also be handled by our same trainer, Toastmaster Grace Amoka. Toastmaster Grace Amoka, please.
I think you're supposed to facilitate that segment, and then, I mean, if there are questions, then I kind of respond to them. Toastmaster Fatimi.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Perks of handling a session for the first time. So sorry, I apologize for my anxiety. So we're going to have this session, question and answer session, and I would like to see or move forward with anybody that has a question. So our trainer is going to answer each and every question we have. So I don't know if we have any hands up, if we have any questions yet. I'm going to call you people up. That's what we do in Toastmasters all the time. Questions. It's expected. I mean, that's the whole point of this session. Yes, or unmute yourselves to suggest. Questions. We're really expecting questions. Toastmaster Halima. I think I'm going to start with the people that I know. Toastmaster Halima.
Yes, good evening.
Oh, good evening, ma'am. I just thought you have a question in your mind, but you're contemplating whether to ask or not. Am I right?
Not really a question. You know, Gemstones, we always deliver the perfect, whether moderation, facilitation, speeches. Of course, we can boast that because we have the district champion in our midst.
Of
However,
course.
I'd like to say thank you so much for what you did, Toastmaster Grace Amoka. You always amaze, you always impress, you always teach. Well, we can't take the teacher away from you. Yeah. So I'd like to say, when you mention those types of ways of presenting speeches, doing the time and one page stuff, does it always work? Is it like something that is once you put your mind to do it like that, it works for you, or you work on it? That's just what I want to know. Is it that it comes with practice, with believing in yourself that you can adapt that type of working on presenting your speech, and then it comes naturally, or how does one do it? That's just what I want to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that question. At least we have one question and then we can wrap this up. So one of the things I learned from one of the comments that Toastmaster Grace Mekano puts here is, you practice so much, it now seems natural. So for everybody, or for many people that you've seen do something exceptionally, and people say things like, oh, she's a born leader, or she's such a fantastic speaker. Me, for example, I was a shy human being for the longest time. I would avoid speaking at all costs, but then there's no way you will consistently do something over a period of time that you won't get better at it. So once you put in the hours, like I said, this is just a couple of the frameworks that have worked for me. So every time I approach writing a speech, delivering a speech, I always use this and a couple of other ideas to say, I need I need a core message. I need a specific outcome that is memorable for people. And then I don't take for granted practicing, no matter how great I am. This training session this evening, I practiced for it. So it's not just natural. I mean, you do it long enough, it becomes almost second nature. But yeah, timer says red card. Okay, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Fatime, or who is taking over?
Hello, it's
We're
still
done
me.
with the session. Okay, thank you.
Questions, we're done with questions. And if you have any comments or anything you want to say, please drop it in the chat box. And then now I'm going to call on the TLI team to launch the quiz.
Okay, thank you, dear Toastmaster Fatime. I'm going to share the link. Then you can make the quiz, and you deserve 5 minutes. So the link is in the chat. Do you see it? Can you confirm, please?
Yes, we see it. We see the link to the quiz. Thank you.
See you in 5 minutes.
So, okay, we're done with this. I've submitted mine, and I hope everyone is done with theirs too. Next thing is I'm going to introduce Toastmaster Muhammad Ikrama and team to take us or introduce us to the district information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Moderator, Toastmaster Fatime, for that. Now you can see the danger of being a Black Nigerian in a state that doesn't have light. My face has blended into the night. You can barely see it, but you can see my teeth. So we're going to do it anyways. I have a couple of district information for you, and I'm going to share my screen so you can see. Toastmaster Isa Madugu, if you could stop the sharing the system sound, that will help. All right, I think I'm not able to share the screen.
Try again, please.
Yes, now I can share the screen. Thank you so much. Can you all see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, no.
Can you still not see my screen?
No. Yes. Good now.
For me, yes, from my end.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So you're welcome to the District 130 news. And today we're going to be discussing a range of things. The first is that we are in the second semester of the Toastmasters year. We have the upcoming club officers training, which is going to be taking place on Thursday, 15th of January, 2026 at 7 p.m. Universal Time. And that is from the district. Secondly, I think my village people are following me tonight. It's not allowing me to change the screen.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, but it's not changing from the club officers training. Okay, I'll just say it. The second is the second semester speech contest that is going to take place. We had the speech contest, the table topics and humorous speech contest sometime in the past. And now we are going into the international speech and evaluation contest. And this one is going to take place in the clubs. Then we're going to have the area speech contest, and we're going to go into the division speech contest. And this one will go all the way to the district as well as the international stage. So get ready and get your clubs ready to start conducting the speech contest. I can see a lot of clubs around the divisions and the district say that they're going to have the timeline for the contest is February 1st to February 28th. That is going to be the club contests. And then March 1st to March 31st is going to be the area contests. And April 1st to April 30th will be the division contest. And the district contest is going to be between May 21st to May 22nd. And guess what is going to happen between May 21st to May 22nd? That is going to be the district conference in Gabon. So get ready from May 21st to May 23rd to be in Libreville, Gabon. Save the date and get yourself ready. And if you're going to be a contestant, get ready to be able to go up against the Toastmasters from over 14 countries. And that is going to be great. So that brings us to the end of the district information. And I look forward to seeing clubs, areas, and divisions contesting and bringing up powerful contestants that are going to be representing the district at the international stage. And now I pass it over to you, Madam Moderator, Toastmaster Fatima.
Wow. Even though I know of these informations or some of it, finding them or hearing them again now is just, it felt new, seriously. And I can't help my excitement, really. But then we're going to move forward to our last, I think, on is to present the for us. Over to you.
All right. Can you see my screen? Okay, all right. Now who is the winner? 1, 2, 3. The winner is Fatime Amza. Congratulations, dear Toastmaster.
Wait, no way.
Really, congratulations. And you will receive this book from Mark Juleston. Just listen. Congratulations once again. You will receive your book and also your certificates. Back to you now.
Oh wow! I was the first to react with the clap. Seriously, not because I knew, or I was just ready to clap for anyone, like whoever it is. But it's really surprising to find out that it's me. I was thinking I did bad, but anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sometimes I cannot hide my excitement because even if I don't laugh too much, my cheeks are hurting right now because I'm smiling internally. But then we're just going to move forward because time is not by our side, and this will be the last thing on our agenda today. And this thing is to introduce or to call on the contest chair and the TLI committee for final words. And then, yes, and then Toastmaster Grace Mekano is going to give the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fatime. So this automatically means that you have to be contesting in this round of contest. You can't win this prize and then not contest. Congratulations on that win. Congratulations on that win. What a session. What a session. People, just as we round up, can you tell us one word to describe the entirety of the session? Because it's been a while that we have an after work session that people are still very much in the room by this time. How many of you want to contest because of the session that we had today? Can you do that? Just share an emoji in the chat box to let us know. Mesmerizing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can even see Atel chair smiling. I know that the session was amazing, right? Yes. Thank you so much for all the various emojis. I want to start by saying a very big thank you to the role players and then specifically to our facilitator of today. You took out time to take us through the best phenomenal way to write a 7-minute speech, not just a 7-minute speech, but a 7-minute winning speech. Some of the highlights I noted down is the way you're a queen of acronym also. Aside being a queen of Canva, you're a queen of acronym. One of the highlights that I took away is the time. The way you said our 7-minute speech can be a 711, and then you give it time. Time meaning trigger, insight, moment, and then exit. Every single one of them are vital points for you to win a speech. I love the way you took us through every single part of it, how we need to use the trigger pointly, how we need to give an insight moment, ensure that we dwell on the core message of our speech. And then you said moment, that peak moment, that emotion that made you to pick this particular story to share in your speech, and then exit. Leave them when they are still thinking you're still going to say something. That's the loudest. They said leave the stage at the loudest point of the applause. I love that. I love that. Some of the key things that I noted down is your job is not to impress, it's to wake people up. That's a trigger. The teaching or the realization, that's one idea that brings about the insight. Then the emotional peak that brings about the moment. Every single one of it put together. I love the way you also said that choosing what really matters is what make your speech a winning speech. It's not about, okay, that story or this story. No, choosing what really matters is what makes your speech a winning speech. So we're really grateful for you sharing all those insight with us, taking your time to prepare the slides and then sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. I want to also acknowledge every single one of the role players, from our moderator to the opening, our TLI team, my boss for sharing the district information, and for our Toastmaster Neimat. It's really amazing meeting you. Definitely, I'm going to get you for role play very soon. Thank you so much for that phenomenal toast. We also want to thank very much every single one of the people that appeared here. I want to especially say thank you to our DTMs that showed up from the beginning to this point in time in the meeting. I want to say thank you to my mentor and my leader, DTM Al-Hassan Mohammed. You've been on the call from the very beginning to this very end. Thank you very much. DTM Oyagba has also been on the call. DTM Amelia was also on the call. I saw her on the call almost all through to when they shared the district information. Every single one that showed up in this meeting, I want to say thank you. Thank you to DTM Mantoro. I'm sorry, that's the only name that I can pronounce here. DJ Mantoro, thank you so much for honoring us with your presence all through the meeting. Every single one that showed up for this meeting, from our meeting, from our very Zoom master to every single person that played a role today. We want to say thank you. This has been a phenomenal first Afterwork session in the year 2026. We look forward to having every one of you show up again in the next Afterwork session. We had about 33 people showed up today, so we trust that we're going to have more of it. So whatever it is that every one of you, the club president, the vice president, education, and everyone that showed up today did, please do it again in our next Afterwork session. Looking forward to having every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the TLI team. We're grateful. All right, so now please you can on your videos and say hi. One of the things the facilitator said is you're going to say Happy New Year in your dialect. So now is the time to do it. Please, can you please on your video and just say Happy New Year to us? If you can, on your video. Even if you're eating, it's okay, it's allowed, please. Even if your skin is blending into the darkness. That's what Toastmaster Ikram said. I love that line.
It was so iconic.